right? Because that's the fundamental of business. Like everybody wants more because, you know, that's what we do here. Woo, capitalism. More.
Have a hard conversation with yourself. Do I want to grow? Right? And if the answer is yes, am I willing to do the things that I haven't done yet to get to that next level? Because that's what it's going to take. If only we could see ourselves and what we're doing on a daily basis. Like, would we say to ourselves, like, man, you're crushing it? Or, oh, you need to fix your shit.
You'd be like, we'd be like, you are fucking up, bro. The Talk and Paint podcast is brought to you by Detailing Growth. That's detailinggrowth.com. Detailing Growth is the industry's only US-based full-stack agency that provides you with full custom web design, ongoing SEO, local SEO via Google Business Profile, ad management for Google and Meta, and an entire business suite of automations with our Grit Suite CRM. Detailing Growth also helps businesses with consulting and business coaching and systems implementation. Head over to detailinggrowth.com and sign up for a free strategy session. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in today. Welcome back to another episode of the Talking Paint podcast, the only industry podcast that's bringing you real marketing advice that you can put to use every day in your high-end detail and auto film business. I'm joined today by my partner in Detailing Growth, Tyler Lordi. How you doing?
Doing fantastic, man. It was 70 degrees here today, so can't complain.
You are in Tennessee, and it was not 70 degrees here in Pennsylvania. It was kind of gross. We're gearing up for the holidays. It's like 3 days before Thanksgiving, and this is the time of year where we really see shops start to tighten. We see owner anxiety start to surface. I think something we really wanted to talk about is just kind of run down some things that you guys should be remembering in your everyday operation of your business. Because understanding this time of year is hard, but it's not an excuse for you to stop doing the things that you need to do. And it's also not an excuse to take action on growth. What do you think we talk to? Like 10 shops a day, 10 different people a day sometimes?
Sometimes, yeah.
Between the two of us. And the number one thing we hear is, I'm scared, I'm not sure, you know, what are the guarantees? And before we get into any of it, right? Nothing is guaranteed in your business. And that's like the number one thing that you should take away from this episode is that nothing is guaranteed and you will get out what you put in.
100%. Podcast over.
That's it. Like,
that's it.
roll outro. Roll it right now. The main theme today we wanted to talk about is like, there are real costs when you stay stagnant and stuck. They are a hidden tax that you pay, especially this time of year when nobody wants to take action because they're scared and unsure of how the winter or colder season will shape out. There are real hidden costs of just staying stagnant and not taking action. And they are extremely expensive.
It's sad because most shops don't realize it until now, right? And it's just like that never-ending cycle of, I'm not busy, I got to get busy. Spring hits, I'm busy, right? Summer, and until now, oh my gosh, well, those guys are busy, right? But then thinking back, it's like, you didn't do all the things you needed to do in the first place. So why are you shocked?
Exactly. I think a great example is one of our clients who's in Florida, Detail Tech. I've been working with Detailing Tech for a long time. He's a part of Detailer OS in my one-on-one program. And Roberto, who's the owner, he's young, early 20s, maybe 22. And he's an ESL, like English is second language for him. So naturally, that puts him at a disadvantage when it comes to talking to high-ticket clients for trying to sell multi-$1,000 jobs. It's been him, a little bit of part-time help that's kind of come and go sporadically, and his father. Do you know that last month, this two-person team did $50,000 out of their shop? 50 grand out of this.
Good for them.
Dude, 50 grand for a two-person shop is wild.
Fantastic.
It's almost double what it should be. And do you know what the number one thing was that he took on and decided to do and we systemized was follow up. Let me tell you about how simple this was. We pulled up his Google Calendar. Every day at 10 a.m., we slotted an hour for follow up and marketing actions. And it didn't matter anything else that was going on that day. Polisher went down, film got squeegeed, and like he finished whatever he was doing. He went and did the follow up every single day and still does it every single day. And he went from not having any work to us implementing this time block for him to now having so much work that he's genuinely pushing people out further than he ever has before. And all it took was one repeating Google Calendar event and maybe a little bit of help from Chip on like how to talk to people. But it was just the action of him saying, okay, I'm going to commit to this and I'm going to show up intentionally for this. And I'm not going to let anything else get in my way. And if the work stacked up in the shop, that means he'd come in a little earlier or he'd stay a little later. And like, that's just what you have to do when you're at that stage. And that's all it took was just setting that one calendar reminder. And like, I think that's a really great example of sometimes it's as easy as that. Sometimes it's not. Right. And
I mean, I argue that it is.
Right.
I mean, think about all the people that they don't do that. They want more business. They want more business that they run to Facebook ads or Google ads or anything other than them actually talking to more people. Because that's what it comes down to. Just if you don't have jobs, literally, like it's simple as just talk to more people, right? Because people are our leads, right? They have cars. Like you could do a million other things, but if you need more work, you've one thing to do: talk to more people. And so like him putting it on the calendar to be intentional for that hour to talk to more people, whether it was following up or, whatever else, like that's amazing. And it paid off.
You and I do it every day, running Detailing Growth as a growth agency, because we do so much in a day to work for our clients and then to work inside the business and work with our team that if we didn't time block, there's no way anything would get done.
Yep.
We do that every day and it's not even related to the shop. And truthfully, it's that much more of a hack and multiplier when I was in the shop more full time, like not doing this because like my shop runs every day and those guys take care of it. And when I was there and I cut time in for specific actions, I was extremely efficient at that. Like to the point where like I'd be twiddling my thumbs by the time the end of the hour came. And you can do that with any action in your business, anything. You can systemize it like that with one recurring Google Calendar event and 30 seconds of your time.
Is it easy to stick to that? That's up to you, right? Like that's up to the person. I'm not going to lie. Like there's times where I set my calendar and I go off and do something else, right? Like we're all human. But when it comes to your lifeblood of your business, like you really need to have, non-negotiable set, and like that hour needs to be for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Always.
That's the lifeblood.
I think this is a really interesting statistic. I have access to an unprecedented amount of industry data through what we do every day. And this is just some numbers that I was able to crunch. Just looking at some of the shops that we work with and their revenue track. If you're a shop that's doing $40K a month and you stay stagnant and don't grow for 12 months, meanwhile, your competitor grows by 15%. They don't just get ahead. You relatively lose $72,000 in market position. Now, I don't know anybody that can afford to lose $72,000 of fucking anything. Like, that's a shitload of fucking money. That's just from you not taking action and just staying the course. Now, if you're happy with where your shop is at and you don't want the growth, because you love what you've built and you're okay with it, then fine. Ignore everything I just said. But like almost none of our clients kind of bring that mentality to the table. They all want more, right? Because that's the fundamental of business. Like everybody wants more because, that's what we do here. Woo, capitalism. more. The other side to that is like every day and every month that you delay taking action and building systems and investing in the right areas of your business, you are paying an invisible tax. And it's not on the P&L, and you're not going to see it when you look into the data and the numbers, but it's definitely eating margins because it shows up in ways that you genuinely don't think of. The tax shows up in the lead that you lost because nobody called them back. And the $2,500 ceramic coating job that went down the street because they had a video that showed the process, or that other shop had speed to lead dialed in. These are what inaction costs. I'm hoping that you listening, if you understand this concept, you can see it in the business.
I can't tell you how many times a week I get from a customer like, hey, I closed that job because we sent them that video, right? Or I closed that job because, of something on the website, or because we had this system set up in our shop. It doesn't take rocket science or like these massive, crazy systems and operations to close deals consistently.
No,
it's just need to fill the tiny gaps.
That's it. It's one small action at a time.
Yeah.
One small action compounded with lots of little actions nets you a shitload of action and movement.
You know what I think it is too? Like as business owners, we're too proud to like admit something's wrong a lot of the time, right? And so when the little things happen, it's not a big deal. I'm just going to forget about it. But right, those things start to compound, little thing. And all of a sudden, if you had just documented...
It shows up on as a chip.
Yeah.
And then it stacks up and it gets heavy.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you just had went back realistically and documented those little things and just tweaked them little by little, it would be a huge difference, right? We got to stop avoiding things. We got to address them.
I think that's one of the hardest parts is like we all want to feel like we're in control of our business, and we all want to feel like we have it nailed down and we know where we're going. But at the end of the day, if we can zoom out and like if you can have an out of body experience and like hover above yourself, can you imagine if you couldn't see it every day, but when you stepped back and looked at yourself for everything that you didn't address and didn't take action on, can you imagine if you had it like a Post-it note on your back? You'd be walking around half yellow or more than half. You'd probably have to buy stock in Post-its. Dude, that's going to make an awesome visual. Just imagine how that stacks up and adds up, right? And you can't see them every day because you're so focused on all the other things going on, but we're not mindful enough to stop and take note of those things.
It's not even taking note too, like it absolutely is, but like it's not even just that, but it's like we're afraid to be vulnerable and ask honest questions that we know will, help solve our problems, right? And it's funny because I was talking to a mentor of mine the other day, and they were in a tough time, and I'm like, well, I'm thinking, we look at our mentors and we're like, you can't possibly have had a tough time, right? Like they're perfect, right? But no, I'm kidding. But he was talking to John Maxwell about a problem he had, right? And so like if we understand that there's levels to this stuff, and even like our mentors and the people that have sold multiple businesses, made tons of money, that they've got it figured out, they have problems, and truly we should be looking at them and realizing, okay, if they have problems and they ask the questions, shouldn't we be asking questions too?
How are we showing up for ourselves, and how are we looking after our future by examining the actions that we've taken? How are we looking out for our future self? How are we looking out for our future growth? The people that we're going to bring into our business and are going to come into our life, how are we looking out for them based on the actions that we have taken every day in our business and in our lives? I think that's a really important piece for everybody to just give consideration to. I also want to segment out into this next piece, and I had this written down, and that's about how the actions we take also show up as either tangible or intangible in the business every day. Because there's this psychological barrier that's in front of us when it comes to investing in intangible growth. We see shop owners drop $5,000 on a lift without a second doubt. but ask them to spend that amount on any marketing or anything that doesn't have immediate ROI or is a long-term game plan. And it's all of a sudden out of the question, or like it feels like it goes against everything that they believe in. And I've been trying to figure this out for a while. I don't know whether it's people just aren't developed enough to see that, or they're too busy to like have awareness of it, or just they're so focused on the tangible and like right now and what's in front of them that they're incapable of seeing down the road. Because I think if you're running a business like this every day and you don't have the long-term game plan in mind, like what's my 5-year and what am I doing to move towards that, then the only thing that you do end up is just grinding yourself into the ground every day. Is it the detailing sector and just their lack of awareness? Or does it attract a certain individual that doesn't believe in long-term gain? Which is it? Because I can't quite figure it out.
You know, I'd venture to say, truthfully, like investing in things that we don't see an immediate ROI in is super uncomfortable. And nobody likes to be uncomfortable.
Didn't our buddy say the other day, our one mentor that we work with as an agency operator, we needed to have more uncomfortable conversations, harder conversations.
Yeah, harder conversations, right? And you could have that conversation with yourself, right? Like you have more harder conversations with yourself. If you have a partner, like absolutely, right? You have to have harder conversations more often. But I think as maybe a one-man show even, like have a hard conversation with yourself. Do I want to grow? Right? And if the answer is yes, am I willing to do the things that I haven't done yet to get to that next level? Because that's what it's going to take, right?
You got to do the hard thing.
Yeah, that's it. Right. And so like investing, for example, in marketing or things that don't produce an immediate ROI, right? You're going to have to do things you haven't done. And it's not just about the money, right? It's about now the actions that come from what those efforts are going to, put in place. And I just, most people, I think it comes down to just like that not wanting to get uncomfortable.
I think that's a really good way to look at it, because if we're not willing to get uncomfortable, how do we expect to find that next level of growth? How do we expect to get and reach for whatever lever that is that's going to net us the gains that we need? Because the immediate and things we can see as ROI, we can take that ROI and like that's an incremental movement. Those are small gains. But the investment in a thing that you can't see, that you need to really have a hard conversation with, those are the things that are often the biggest multipliers, right? And those are the things that like make you uncomfortable right in here, right in your chest, and make your stomach flip over because you're scared. And I think that if you're coming up against a decision where you find yourself scared, you should fucking make that choice and do it.
Anything tangible will force you to do the intangible, right? So like you can buy that plotter, but guess what? Now you're going to be forced to get more work to pay for that plotter and actually get use out of it.
Mm-hmm. Which is valid because you need the plotter to be efficient, or if you're really good at what you do, you may not. But like most guys getting into that game definitely want the plotter and need it. But like you spend $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 after shipping. What are you doing now to turn that investment into money? Well, guess what we have to do now? We got to do more marketing to get the jobs. So whether you invest in the tangible now or you invest in it later, I would agree with you that the intangible is absolutely going to follow up immediately after that.
Yeah, listen, it doesn't have to be like your typical marketing, right? Like again, we were talking about follow-up. Like, cool, if you weren't doing the hour of follow-up before, you better do it now, right?
You want the sale? You want them closed? Now you got to do follow-up. That's what you don't realize when you get the lead. When you get the lead, that's the tangible. Oh, I see it. I see it now. I have a lead. That's money. Potential money sitting there. Ah, damn it. They didn't answer the phone. Now I don't have any money. Horseshit. Pick up the phone. Call them again. Now you got to show up for the intangible. You need to show up for the repeated actions that compound over time. So with every action comes another action that must follow. It's not just one thing or the other. It's the system of both. And that you've heard me kind of talk about like how everything is a system. Getting the lead and then following up to have the opportunity to sell them. And everybody has to do that. And that moves me into like being uncomfortable, because I think everybody in this industry probably shows up and starts their business for one reason or another. Whether it's a dream, they wanted financial freedom, be their own boss, controlling your own schedule, and then they become slave to it. They don't take vacations. They just work themselves to death. And they're not willing to put the extra time in on the weekends, get up early, stay late, work late, learn new skills, take advice from somebody, and then actually take action on it. If you are a shop that's doing a high amount of ceramic coatings, you're doing paint protection film, you're going to go through supplies and you're going to burn them up. What if I said that a shop that's doing $80,000 a year could save 15 grand on just microfiber towels by switching to one new vendor? And that is why this podcast is brought to you by Autoality, the home of the Detailers Club. Autoality is a huge operation that you can sign up for online. It is a one-time $50 per year fee that gets you access to the Detailers Club, where you will find the best prices and the best service and the fastest shipping speed in the entire industry. I have been using Autoality in my shop for the entire time I've been running it. Even while I was mobile, I was using Autoality. Sign up for the Detailers Club at autoality.com. You and I talk to people that I would say we probably disqualify 80% of the people that we talk to, maybe even 90%. 90% of the people that come through our pipeline to talk to us because they want to grow, they want more business, but they're not at a point where they can separate the things that they need to do and need to learn how to do from the reason that they started, which is like they want freedom without the work, right? And I have one question I want to ask everybody that's currently sitting in any position that they're not happy with. How's that working out? I bet it's not good. I bet it's not good. When was the last time you actually stopped work to unplug? And Tyler, what's the response that we usually get?
Never.
I'm too busy. Can't do that. Too many cars to work on. Too skinny. You traded one boss for 100 bosses, which is your client list. All because you weren't willing to build the dream and invest in the systems that help you gain the dream. We have clients that we've worked with for like 3 years.
Oh, yeah. 3-4 years.
They seem to just consistently just churn in one place. And I think that as much as I'd like to say that you and I are like the fucking best in the goddamn game when it comes to like showing up for individual shops, I truly believe that. Like, insert clip from Ricky Bobby where he's like, I wake up every morning and I piss excellence.
Here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.
That's detailing growth, bro. I fully believe that because there's nobody that matches what we do. Nobody at all. And we show up for shops in ways that nobody else is. And it's frustrating to watch guys who we show up for and pour ourselves into that just don't see the bigger picture. And I'm frustrated by that. They say they want the freedom, but they really don't.
Well, it's not that they don't want it. It's again that they're not willing to do the things to get it. Or they're trying to fill the void with maybe a marketing company, for example, right? Whereas that's an extension, it's not to fill a void. We could probably beat that horse saying this. Like, you just can't pay for that next thing to get to that next level and then just like keep doing what you're doing. You have to level up yourself.
You have to change.
You have to.
It's a requirement. Change is inevitable. Excuses are expensive, man. Excuses are some of the most expensive things that you'll ever come up with in your life. Because if somebody takes the time to highlight a fundamentally broken thing inside your business and all you do is come up with excuse after excuse as to why you can't fix that, what can I or you or anybody else say to you that's going to truly change your outcomes? Not an agency, a mentor, nobody on your team. If you continue to let the excuse ride you into the ground, you're going to have to pay the price. You're going to have to pay the piper. How many times do we hear, I don't have time to make content, but you have time to scroll Instagram and TikTok for an hour and fuck around. You got time to jump into Facebook groups and complain. You don't have an extra 30 seconds to a minute to like whip out your phone, slap it on the gimbal, hit the record button, and walk around the car. Bullshit. You absolutely have that. And if you don't, I guess we need to figure out the system so that you do. Because just continuing to not do those things are why you suffer and continue to triage growth and lose to everyone else.
Yeah, I don't believe in the I don't have time. Like,
that's horseshit.
It is absolutely the worst excuse.
You call me you call me out on that every day. You're like, I'm like, I don't have time. You're like, fuck that, bro.
Well, I think I don't remember when this was. It was years ago. Someone really called me out on it, and because I used to say it all the time, like, I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't have time, and it truly is just a mindset shift of I'm just not making the time. And so anytime I think or I'm about to say I don't have, I'm not making the time. What can I do in my schedule to make the time? Like, if it really matters, if you really want to grow, you will make the time to follow up. Right? You'll make the time to do the video content. You will. Because I'll be honest with you, show me your calendar, I know exactly where you're spending your time. This is like super related to shops, I'm sure. Like, if I look at your calendar and 80% of your time is on a car, I bet you can get the same results with 60%.
Mm-hmm.
But we're so focused in on getting it perfect, right, that we're missing out on the 20% of action that we should be taking to move the needle.
The 80-20 type situation. And I'm guilty of that every day.
Yeah. I mean, listen, we all are.
You call me out on it all the time.
Well, that's the hard conversation that we have, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, the out-of-body experience. If only we could see ourselves and what we're doing on a daily basis. Like, would we say to ourselves, like, man, you're crushing it, or oh, you need to fix your shit.
You'd be like, we'd be like, you are fucking up, bro.
We need to be able to be mature enough to actually think like that too, and have that conversation with ourselves. Because again, we, as business owners, especially young business owners, or we have our own business, we're doing our own thing. Like, nobody's as good as us, right? But if we can't step outside and actually like take a hard look at everything that we're doing, then you're not going to grow.
No, you end up with net zero. Quitting early costs you a lot more in the long run. When you let those negatives pile up so high that the only inevitable out that you see is quitting, then I guarantee you it's at that time that exactly what you wanted is just on the other side of that. Always. Every time that you put short-term gain in front of long-term growth, you make getting that long-term goal even longer. Those are conscious decisions that you make, because just talking about what we do, marketing is a long game. You have to be willing to invest in somebody who's going to be in the trenches with you. Because if the go-to is to work with the guy that's just providing you with just short-term solutions, always has an excuse for you, and isn't willing to work the problem, then that tells me that if we're not willing to drill into it and work the problem, then all we value is short-term. And if all we value is short-term, we will never get the larger net outcome that we want. You're never going to get what they call outsized returns, right? Because that's ultimately what you need to grow a shop. Is you need to be able to build a business and build a brand that grows and isn't always reliant on purchasing your growth. This day and age, digital is everything. And during the growth phase and build phase, you're going to have to buy it. But you need to be able to put the time and energy into the business and show up for the business every day and show up for it even when it's hard, to build the brand that builds the referral engine, right? Because the referral engine, I think, is one of the most important pieces that a lot of these guys just miss and don't inherently think about that, because that's how you get the outsized returns. getting those jobs that you don't have to pay for. They just come.
I was talking to a client a couple weeks ago, and I think we were looking at one of the months, and it was like Google only had like a 2x return. You'll know which client I'm talking about probably without me saying it, but super like amazing, omnipresent, just lead generation that they have going on between referrals and Facebook and Google and just networking, events, everything. He's like, yeah, this month Google's like 2x, and I said, yeah, but your referrals are way up. Is it fair to say like your recent Google ads have turned into referrals? And he goes, actually, yeah. And so he's compounded his Google ads, regardless of the return, whether it's 2x or 10x, over time to just feed his referral engine. I think it's hard. Most businesses make it hard because they look at, let's say, 10 leads, right? They get 10 leads and they close 2 or 3, right? 20, 30%. They leave it at that. Those 7 or 8 leads, they're dust in the wind, right?
Like a tumbleweed.
And every single month, it's 2 or 3 out of 10, 2 or 3 out of 10, 2 or 3 out of 10. And we accept it. And that's why it's so expensive. Because month 2, right? Now you have 16, 18 leads, right? Or whatever the math. Yeah, my math's probably not mathing, but you know what I'm saying? Like you have 70 to 80% of the leads from not only that month, but the month before. And then month 3, you have 3 months worth now, and so on and so on and so on. And then all of a sudden, those 7 or 8 that didn't close, now they're starting to close, right? That's why it's so expensive for people, is because they stop paying attention to the 7 or 8.
And they stop following up, which is why we hammer on it. And follow up is just a message. It can be a phone call. It could be an email, something that says hello. I think that the bigger picture here is that consistency is the tax that you pay for compounding, and most people refuse to pay it. You have to be consistent, because if you want compounding and outsized outcomes, you have to pay the tax. And consistency is the currency that covers the tax. And if you're not willing to be consistent, you're not going to get what you want.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't Uncle Sam tax. Is there like another uncle for this one? It's like the good uncle.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
this is the Funkle tax.
The Funkle tax.
The Funkle tax. We like this tax.
Exactly.
You want to pay it.
Because it's the one thing that you can control. Nobody's surprising you with it. That you can systemize down to 1 hour per day repeating calendar event. What if that's the only thing that's stopping you from growing, is just setting that calendar event every day, or just one time you create the recurring calendar event Monday through Friday? What if that's the one thing that unlocks another 30 to 40% growth in your business? And you're just going to sit there and tell me that it's too crazy. Horseshit. You're just not willing to accept the boring part of the work and the part where you show up and don't get anything out. And I think if more people were willing to show up for that and maybe take a little bit more shit, eventually it doesn't feel like you're taking shit anymore. It just comes with the territory, because you know that that's what you have to do to show up for growth.
I would bet 9 out of 10 people, that's all they would need to do.
Oh, yeah. Easy. They love to just say that it's just text messages. I texted him again. I'm like, motherfucker, have you picked up the phone?
Did you leave a voice note?
Did you send a message? Did you send an email?
Selfie video? Hey, just checking in with you.
Yeah. Have you sent a video? Or like, have you sent anything? God, send a meme and like do something. Because ultimately, everybody's in control of their own growth plan, and anything that you do starts and stops with you.
But Gabe, I don't want to be that business owner that's like coming off like we're bugging them.
I don't give a
like
fuck.
Aggressive.
I don't give a shit. Because guess what?
They're not paying your bills.
They opted in for your service, Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
They opted in for what you're offering, and the only thing you can do is be a professional and cordially follow up with them until they tell you to pound fucking sand.
Or die.
Or fucking die. That's it, man. Like, no bullshit. That's the truth. Is like, you got to keep following up. All right, well, guess what? There's even AI tools chip for business that we have inside of Grit Suite that can handle some of this for you. Chip that can handle some of your inbound leads for you and help you with this. There are tools and options available, but guess what? You still need to show up for it. You still have to show up and be there. You can't just say, oh, well, I guess I'm not going to get it. Fuck that. And I'm getting upset now. My blood pressure's getting up there now because I've been doing this for 5 years now. I've been working hand in hand and I grew a shop faster than most of everybody has ever done before, grew it massively, and I burnt it to the ground, and then I rebuilt it, burnt it to the ground, and then I rebuilt it. And I've worked with everybody in between of every size across the industry. Everybody that's done $0 and shops who are doing like $300,000 a month. And the one universal truth that I can tell you that everybody has is that nobody is willing to be told that they are wrong about one specific thing until I can show them that they are wrong. Show up, try, and do something different. Do something once.
Maybe this is a problem for this specific industry. Maybe it's not. I think a big problem is that we're so focused on what other shops do. Oh, well, they don't run Google ads. Or, oh, well, this guy says they just get business because their grandmother sends it to them. And like, they don't. I heard the other day from a shop, there's like, well, these guys are doing a boatload of money and they don't run any Google ads. That's what they said to this other shop. And meanwhile, I found out that they were spending thousands on Google ads.
Oh, yeah.
Please stop listening to anyone else that just isn't you.
Exactly.
Right? When it comes to comparing your shop to theirs or their lead generation strategy, right? Especially different. I don't care if you're even in the same market. Like, they're not you.
Everybody has a different market position. Everybody has a different way of how they portray their business, and it attracts different types of people. When you become known in a market, you're being out-marketed or somebody has more reviews than you. Well, guess what? You just need to show up, man. You just got to show up. Work fucking harder. I think with that note, I want to close this out because we're coming up on like 45 minutes. I just want to say that thank you for listening. Hopefully you've been listening for a while and it's not your first rodeo here. There are more than half of you that listen to this show and watch this and aren't subscribed on YouTube or aren't following us on your favorite platform, wherever you purchase your podcast. Please hit the follow button, subscribe, like, leave a comment. We want to hear from you. The number one thing I want you to do today is to take action on is sign up for our newsletter. Join it down in the description. And you're also going to see a link to grab the thing that you see right now on screen. And that's the 27 ways that you can keep your shop revenue predictable. This is completely free. All you need to do is click the link down in the description or in the show notes, fill out the form, and I'm going to send it right to you. This has things that almost nobody talks about that truly make a difference in the outcome of your shop. And I want you to have that. And then after all said and done, hopefully I see you in the next one. Say hello to me on Facebook. Say hello to Tyler. Drop us an email. Schedule a call with us if you're interested in having us work on your business and in your marketing with you. And when you're done with this video, I'm going to show you what looking with us looks like when you watch this video right here. At Detailing Growth, we don't just build websites. We create conversion engines. And we've done it hundreds of times for some of the biggest, baddest shops in the entire country.
Choose and go with Detailing Growth.
I highly recommend Detailing Growth if you want to grow, if you really want to excel in your area, and if you want to dominate your competition.
You guys are the most professional looking shop, top to bottom.
They are amazing. They know what they're talking about. They know how everything works.
So if you're looking for marketing for any type of detailing company, vinyl wrap, PPS, or AIM coating window tint, I recommend them 100% 5 stars all the way around.
They turn to Detailing Growth to get them and their websites dialed in, and we can do the same for you. Hit the link below and let's get started.